I'm Dr. Bharat Pandey, Department of Chemistry, Government PG College, Ranike. Mastering the art of scientific research writing, aspiring towards excellence. Writing a research paper is not just about collecting data. It is about sharing your findings in a way that others can understand and learn from. Good research writing helps communicate ideas clearly, allowing others to build on your work and contribute to scientific progress. Importance of scientific research writing means, why is scientific research writing important? Well, scientific research writing is important because it helps share new discoveries with the world. If a scientist finds something valuable but cannot explain it clearly, their research will not be useful. Writing well ensure that others can understand, verify, and apply the findings. For example, all must be knowing the name of Thomas Alva Edison. If Thomas Edison has not documented his inventions properly, future scientists and engineers might have struggled to develop new technologies based on his work. Understanding the targeted audience means, who is the audience? So, before writing a research paper, it is, it is important to understand who will be reading it. If a paper is for scientists, technical terms and detailed experiment can be used. However, if audience is student or general public, the language should be simple and easy to understand. Let me give you an interesting example. When explaining hydroponics to a farmer, you can say hydroponic is a way to grow plant without soil. But for a scientific audience, you might say hydroponic is a method of soilless agriculture where, where plant receive nutrients through water-based solution. So that's why, who is the audience you must understand. So understanding the targeted audience is very important. Crafting a compelling research question means, how to ask a good research question. A good research paper starts with a clear and focused question. The question should not be too broad, and it should be possible to find an answer through research and data collection. Let me give an example for this. Asking how do plants grow is too, now this is too general and does not lead to a specific study. Instead, asking, does hydroponics farming increases tomato production compared to soilless farming? Now, this makes it easier to conduct experiment and finding useful results. So, how to ask a good question? So that's why compiling research question is very necessary. Conducting through literature review means, how to review previous research. So before starting your research, it is important to check what other researchers have already discovered on the topic. I mean, how we can do it? By reading books, journals, articles, and online sources helps us understand existing knowledge and identify gaps that need future studies. Now, this prevents you from repeating what already have done. That's why review of literature is uh, necessary, and it will help you build on past research. For example, if you are studying medicinal plants, so if we are studying about the medicinal plant, you should first check what is already known about their healing properties and the chemical composition before planning your own research. So that's why review of literature is necessary. Now, Structuring the research paper effectively means how to structure a research paper. Well, a well structured research paper is easy to read and understand. It allows, um, means it usually follows a format. There is a format for it that is called IMRAD, which stands for I, that is the introduction, M is for methodology, R result, and that is the discussion D. The introduction, that is the first part. Well, introduction, it explains why the research is important. The methodology, it describes how the research was conducted, what methods you have taken to conduct the research. And the result section, it presents the finding, what you have found. And the discussion part, it explains what those findings means. And at last, finally, is the conclusion, which summarizes the key points. So, writing a research paper is similar. We can say that writing a research paper is similar to writing a recipe. That introduction is like explaining what you're cooking. The method is listing the ingredients and steps. The result shows the final dish, and the discussion part explain how the flavors combine. So that's why how to structure your research paper, this is important. Maintain clarity and coherence in writing means how to write clearly. Now, writing clearly means using simple and short sentences so that readers do not get confused. Reader gets confused. So each sentence should have only one idea, and sentence should connect smoothly using words like because, but, and therefore. For example, we can say instead of writing due to the fact that experiment did not yield significant result, it can be considered inconclusive. We can write the experiment had no clear result, so it is inconclusive. So this makes the sentence easier to understand. So that's why clarity should be there. Utilizing appropriate language and style means choosing the right word and the style. Means scientific writing should be formal, but it should not be complicated. Difficult words and long sentences can make the paper hard to read. This is important. Difficult word and long sentences, it makes the paper hard to read. It is also better to use an active voice instead of passive voice. Now, one should use the active voice instead of using the passive voice. Let me give you an example for this. Instead of writing, it was observed that the temperature increased. It is clear to write the temperature increased. This makes the writing more direct and engaging. So it is also very important. Citing sources accurately and ethically means how to cite sources. Now this is very important because citing sources is important because it gives credit to the original author and helps avoid plagiarism, which is when someone uh, copies another person's work without permission. In research writing, different styles like APA and MLA or IEEE are used for citations. Say, for example, instead of copying text, you can rewrite it in your own words and mention the sources, such as hydroponics uses water instead of soil for plants growth. In bracket, Smith 2020, then inverted closed. Now, this ensures that the work is ethical and respected. Reviewing, revising, and proofreading for perfection means how to edit and improve your paper. A research paper should never be submitted without reviewing and improving it. We can say the best way to find mistake is to read the paper twice, once for grammar and spelling, and other for overall, um, and other for the uh, and we can say the other for overall clarity. Now, this thing helps to ask, or you can ask, or you can take the help from your friend or a teacher to read it, because this might notice error that you have missed. Because reading the paper aloud can also helps and identify sentences that need improvement. At last, we can say in the conclusion or uh, from these slides, the final thoughts that scientific writing is a skill that improves with practice. Means to write a strong research paper, start with a clear research to start clear research questions. We should also use simple and clear sentences, give credits to other researchers, that is both in the citations, okay, and revise your work before submitting. With these steps, your research will be well organized and easy to understand and valuable to others. Thank you.